Hello and welcome to Broadcast in Bed with your host, Brendan Getches. First, scary Spanish things. Independence. Woo. As the dispute between Spain and its breakaway region of Catalonia continues, on November 5th, ex-leader Carles Puigdemont and 4 fellow cabinet members surrendered themselves to police in Brussels in order to appear in Belgium for trial, as Belgium has not confirmed if they will transfer them back to Spain in order to stand trial. Carles sought trial in Belgium as a chance to speak openly about their cause, or in the worst case scenario, eat some waffles. Back in Spain, the region's parliament has been dissolved, with new elections scheduled on December 21st. Just in time for a Merry Catalonia Christmas! Oh, little Ronaldo, what do you want for Christmas? Independence? Why don't you follow my helpful Spanish police, elves, back into their van? Little devil. Now, to put the situation in perspective, imagine if California declared independence from the United States, reasoning that they don't get as much back in taxes as they put into the country, as well as having their own culture, separate from the rest of the United States, including a flag, language, and food styles, like putting avocado on everything. However, as the United States or Spain do not have a way for states to seek independence, they declare it unilaterally. Now imagine the US in response sends in the army. Thus it becomes a difficult balance between letting people express their culture and not hurting people. And you can't force people to change their culture, even if there's some awful parts to it, like wanting independence or how they drive. It would be wrong to set up re-education centers or departments and make people go there and wait in line just to prove that they should be allowed in the greater culture of Spain or behind the wheel of a motor vehicle. That would just be torture, and that's banned by the Geneva Conventions. In national news, another year, another election. The biggest being Democrats taking over the governorships of both New Jersey and Virginia. Now, my favorite part is national headlines using scientific metaphors to describe how important these races are to democracy, including calling them petri dishes, barometers, and litmus tests. Apparently, pregnancy test for Lady Liberty didn't make the final cut. Who am I kidding? The editors probably aborted it. There is an emerging shift in strategy for candidates. As in Virginia, both candidates pushed a more local and personal angle, rather than appealing to the national ramifications of said races. But stereotypes do die hard. Republican nominee Ed Giuseppe tried to bring fear of illegal immigrants into the race by accusing his Democratic challenger of protecting sanctuary cities. Unfortunately, his Democratic challenger, Ralph Northam, has already openly said he would ban sanctuary cities in Virginia if elected governor. And the fact that literally there are no sanctuary cities in Virginia. Going forward, the GOP may add protecting the rights of boogeymen under your bed into the Democratic platform. As literally, it's the same thing at this point, folks. Overall, Ralph Northam had raised $33.8 million to Giuseppe's $24.5 million. In New Jersey, the bridge finally came down on Republicans. The 14% approval rating of outgoing Governor Chris Christie, in addition to his unpopular ties to the presidency, was an albatross for the GOP. Democrat Phil Murphy will be the next New Jersey governor. In business news, in a Supreme Court case that would affect businesses across the country, we could see the creation of a cake clause. Not as delicious as it sounds. Masterpiece Cake Shop versus Colorado Civil Rights Commission began when a Colorado cake shop refused to make a wedding cake for a gay ceremony. The customer sued the cake shop under Colorado civil rights law, which forbids businesses from discrimination under sexual orientation. In briefs filed by the sides, the cake shop is taking a very creative stance, saying that its cakes are a work of art, and thus protected under the First Amendment for freedom of speech and expression. The state cannot force a business to make speech that it doesn't agree with. Lawyers representing Colorado have countered that there are creative parts to many industries, including Subway's famous sandwich artist. Now imagine going to your local Subway and the punk teenager behind the counter says, "Americans don't deserve French bread." Oral arguments will be held in December. In popular news, a sensation that is sweeping the nation. It's got the drama of HBO, the action of football, and you can discuss it at the water cooler. Stolen car chases on the midday news. Now you have no idea how invested you can be until you let out sighs of disappointment when they miss the last exit on the right before the police blockade. Or the laughs when watching unknowing passerby stumble on the scene. Not me. Okay. Oh my God! They got it. Wow. Hey, Sharon! I'm watching someone get arrested. Oh, hi. Now, this sport has a surprisingly storied history in our country, including many horseback records held by the one and only Paul Revere. However, the greatest of all time is undisputedly O.J. Simpson's run. You can't even drive a Bronco anymore. Yet there is some young and up-and-coming talent. A 10-year-old Cleveland boy stole his mom's car twice and took police on a pursuit over 100 miles per hour in October. Apparently everyone's trying to get out of Cleveland these days. Right, Kyrie Irving? So I want you to join me as I launch the new Chase Network. 23 and a half hours of non-stop police pursuit coverage. Sponsored by Chase Banking. Ask for their new Cayman Islands option. If you just want to get away from police or taxes, think Chase. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember, don't start your day on snooze. Start it with this news. Broadcast in bed with your host, Brendan Getchis. Boom. Gotcha.